Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Lake Harriet Spiritual Community, a Center for Conscious Living. I'm Tina Frontera, and I'd like to welcome all of you that are here just before a snowstorm, and thank you to all of you who are inviting us into your living rooms. So, this is a movement and meditation service, which means we're going to move a little. But today we're going to do more meditation than movement, and I'll also be speaking about today's theme, which is spending time in solitude. Okay? So when you spend, you think of spending on something valuable, making a conscious decision to use your money or to use your time. Spending time, then, we think about what is it that we're going to do with our days, our hours, and our minutes. Are we going to squander our time, or are we going to use it wisely? Because when we think about it, the only thing we have is time. Time is our most valuable resource. So when we spend time wisely, then, we are spending it valuing things and paying attention to what we value. We're going within. We're spending time in solitude, trying to understand ourselves, to listen to our souls, to reflect, to become self-aware, to renew ourselves, and to gain perspective. Because really, how can you hear your soul if everything else is talking? You can't. So my father was born 100 years ago in Puerto Rico, the hills of Puerto Rico. He had lots of time for solitude. He could pick coffee, bananas, mangoes, drive the horses down into town in solitude. He had a lot of time for reflection, but yet he wasn't alone. He had 8 siblings and lots of activities on that farm, lots of people to spend time with. But he grew up also with no electricity and no running water. So lo and behold, Hurricane Maria came by 7 years ago, and he had no electricity for 6 months, right? And so he goes, well, been there, done that. What's the big deal? While everyone else is running out on the island, going to the only cell phone tower to try to get cell phone service, desperately trying to text each other and talk to each other and communicate each other. And he said, what's the big deal? I have a transistor radio with batteries and it works. Okay? So you learn to adapt. You learn to adapt more easily to things if you've had some time to reflect on your own. And then came the pandemic, right? The pandemic came around and been there, done that. What's the big deal? You know, there were over 100 pandemics in the last 100 years, okay? And here we are whining and whining because we have to socially distance or cover our nose and mouth. What do you do when somebody has a cold? That's sort of what you do. So what's the big deal? Now, sometimes we need help, and thank goodness for my cousins who did climb over the fence and go through hills and valleys to get them water, bottled water, because they did need some help. And yes, it was a little isolating. My aunt at age 104 died during the pandemic. And for my father, it was a really sad thing because she was the last sibling standing at 104. The last sibling, so a very important death in his life. And my cousins helped take care of her in her death. On her death, he got the phone call, and he said, Hortensia, get my shoes, we're going to see the body. My cousin said, the body's gone. They picked her up. They're going to cremate her. Now, for a very old school Catholic, cremation was not a good word. And not to be able to say goodbye to his sister was just a huge loss. Words were exchanged, feelings were hurt. You could understand how he felt so lonely then. But let's look at the other side. Has anybody had a dead body in their living room? Yeah. My mother, my late husband, and you go through a lot of emotions when that happens, right? And in my experience with hospice, many people die at 4 a.m. So here you are up all night, emotionally drained with this death occurring, and you're not thinking straight. You're not thinking about other people. You're just thinking about how sad you are, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then it occurred to me what happened next. And I don't know if this has ever happened to you. When you call the undertaker, have you ever noticed? They come really, really fast. You don't even get a chance to think. And I thought about, why is that? Of course, it's a business to them. Whoever comes first to get the body gets the dollars. So, forgive each other. Life is too short. Life is too short to live in loneliness with resentment in your heart. That's not voluntary solitude. That is voluntary loneliness. So Wayne Dyer said, you can't be lonely if you like the person you're alone with. So we confuse being alone with our loneliness, and we suffer. We fear aloneness. And then we fear it so much that we don't sit in solitude, and then we don't find ourselves. So the true way of knowing ourselves is in wise silence. Rumi said, "Do not feel lonely. The entire universe is inside you. Loneliness is the poverty of self. Solitude is the richness of self. Put our chaos to rest and answer our inner peace." So Shakespeare, Leonardo da Vinci, Ben Franklin, Abraham Lincoln, they didn't have movies, TVs, radios, and all the social media that we've got today. We have kids being pushed in strollers looking at their iPads. We are just overwhelmed with social media. It's time to turn off the lights and listen to our soul. And it's difficult because we're seduced by social media. And like a food addiction, we actually do need it to a certain point. But we have to know when to put it aside and feel that natural high, that natural endorphin high of loneliness. Of loneliness to a certain degree, turning it into solitude and richness of the soul. Okay, I'm going to ask you to get up. And we're going to do some movements, some quick movements to help us get rid of what no longer serves us. So we're going to tap. Oh, and breathe out and tap out any anxiety. And also have your knees slightly bent and your legs slightly apart for good balance. While we listen to a drum beat. Breathe out that anxiety, fear, anger, frustration, anything that stops you from feeling joy and from looking within. And now shake those hands. And shake off what isn't serving you, and shake those arms, and shake your body, and bounce at the knees, and let's keep going at this for about a minute, and shake off just what doesn't serve you anymore. to exhaustion. Just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go and breathe. Don't forget to breathe. And shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it as much as you can. Oh, burn up those calories. Get things going. Get that circulation moving. Your heart, your muscles. Okay. And we're going to breathe in and breathe out to Peter Mayer here. Oh, did we bring the CD? Oh, we have played it before, Gary. I don't know if you can find it.
Open to the day. Breathe in, breathe out. Hands joined as if to pray. Breathe in, breathe out. Arms reaching to the sky, then circling around down to the earth. Eyes lifted to the light, to the light. Branches catching rain. Breathe in, breathe out. Then rising like a stalk of grain. Breathe in, breathe out. Arms reaching to the sky, then circling around down to the earth. Eyes lifted to the light, to the light. Open to the day. Breathe in, breathe out. Hands joined as if to pray. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in,
Okay, have a seat. So, in psychology, there are basically 4 ways that we spend our time. One is primary, what it is we love to do. Music, being with the friends that we like, dancing. And then there's secondary, things that kind of we do to pass the time, like waiting in the dentist's waiting office, okay? And then there's those things that we kind of have to do to get to our primary, which is make a living and make money so we can afford to do the things that we like, right? And then there are those social normative things that we feel we must do, like visit our in-laws, right? So lots of ways to spend our time. And Ross Levin writes a book. He's kind of a spiritual financial advisor. And he writes a book called Spending Your Life Wisely. And he says that he is asked several times by people on how can I escape from work and retire early? And he says, I think the real question is not how do you escape from work, but how do you fill it with meaning? How do you fill your work with meaning? How do you fill your work with purpose? How do you fill your life with purpose? So my father used to walk around the house whistling and singing. And do you remember this old Perry Como song? It's catch a falling star and put it in your pocket, save it for a rainy day. Well, he had a really heavy Puerto Rican accent. So for 50 years of my life, I thought he was saying, cash is not too far. Put it in your pocket. And it made sense because my father came to the States to make money. He wanted to make a name for himself. And he was about, if you make 2 pennies, you spend a penny, you save a penny. And you earn interest, and you learn to live off that interest when you retire, right? That was his goal, that was his dream. So of course I had piggy banks, and of course I had toy cash registers, because I had to learn how to count money, not only save money. And it made a lot of sense to me. And then I also remember my uncle. My uncle, who was kind of like a second father to me, Tio Pupo. And I was visiting him one day, and he started crying, getting really emotional. We were just having a normal conversation. And he said, and I think he had false teeth, because it almost seemed like his teeth were coming loose. And he said, Tina, do you still wash pennies? And it's like I barely remembered that anymore. And it was like, oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I knew that there was something about money and something about shining. And I think I thought that if I had really, really shiny pennies, I'd be able to collect more interest off of them. So, and it's funny how all of that time in solitude for my father gave him great vision for his future. He was able to see where he was today and where it is he needed to go for his eventual vision. And I don't know how a man with a 3rd grade education, growing up on a coffee plantation, ever knew how to renovate Victorian houses in Ohio. I don't know how he ever figured out how to do that, but he did. And he got awards for it. He got awards for it. So it was amazing. And he was a man that really was able to see things. He wanted to retire with his family back in Puerto Rico, and he made a living and he made a life so he could accomplish that goal. And so he worked very hard, but also to the chagrin of his many wives, he played very hard. And no one was surprised when there was a new half-sibling that nobody knew about that arrived on the scene. It was actually almost an expectation. So he was able to visualize in solitude what he wanted. And it would be in the garage, it would be in the basement. Yeah, sometimes it would be with a little bit of alcohol too. But he was able to manifest. So often we go through life bumbling, just waiting for the opportunity and hope that things just sort of happen. We don't want to plan too hard. We don't want to plan too far in advance. We don't want to ruin the magic of life. We just want things to happen spontaneously. But it's a balance. When we reflect, we manifest. We create. We become open to creativity. And we can be constructive. Paul Coelho said, "Blessed are those that do not fear solitude and afraid of our own company, not desperately looking for something to do or judge." So we can be in relationships and we can be with another person, but we can feel very alone, right? Like when you're with a teenager with earbuds, right? Or you can be with somebody and still feel that sense of solitude, like meditating side by side with a mate. We have a wonderful deck overlooking a lake. What a wonderful place to meditate in solitude, but yet together. So the trick is keeping our minds and our hearts clear and open and transparent so we can feel the freedom and better connect with ourselves and others. So my father had a younger brother. They were very, 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 very close. They did everything together. They moved to Ohio together. They cut trees together. And they were my second family. They had a terrible, terrible falling out. I remember my uncle bashing in the door, throwing money at my father, and they left for Puerto Rico, and I never saw them. And I was heartbroken, because that uncle was my second father. My father was a real macho guy. This was the feminine side of a male that I could see. My mother was schizophrenic. My aunt, Tia Rosita, was a strong, strong female. And my cousin left with them. She was my best friend. It was a really lonely time. And my father was trying to do the best he could. Here he was trying to be both a mother and a father to me, and make a living, and deal with a schizophrenic wife, and follow his dreams. So it was about catch a falling star, put it in your pocket, never let it fade away. So a brilliant idea came to a family member. I don't know who the family member was. Thank you, family member, if you're still here today. And if you're not, thank you, family member. But they had the idea of having these two brothers take care of T01, who had a stroke, fully mentally intact, but totally trapped in his body. And I'm sure that the two brothers didn't find this to be much of a gift because they still weren't talking to each other. So I wasn't there, but I can imagine that what they did was bathe him. And can you imagine the gift for T01? To have his two nephews touch him in such an intimate way when you are trapped in your body. He had lots of solitude, but he also had lots of loneliness. So a very special time for him. And then you can imagine these two brothers sitting there in silence, not talking, right? But they were also in their silence becoming more vulnerable. As you see this uncle and all of his vulnerability, you understand your vulnerability and how short time really is. And so then they finally, not talking to each other, but would tell jokes to Tia1. And then finally they softened up, and finally they started talking to each other. And finally they became friends once again. So they joked, they healed through that solitude together. So don't delay. Like I said, time is short. If you don't have time, make time. Buy it. Hire someone to do the more mundane tasks if you can, so that you can connect with yourself and your family. So sometimes we do have to turn away from society. The political environment says we got to shut off that TV every now and then, right? But it's balance. Turn it off, but yet pay attention so we can be good global citizens. Lao Tzu says, at the center of our being, we have the answer. We know who we are, know what we want. It takes skill to connect to ourselves, make choices based on principles of humanity. I encourage you to stand up. And our usual stance, strong leg stance, tree standing in the water, knees slightly bent. And breathe out. And we're going to connect with solitude and oneness. First, slowly lower yourself down, bending those knees. And if you can touch Mother Earth, please do so. If not, just wave to Mother Earth. And thank Mother Earth for all of the beautiful spaces that exist in this world where you can be in solitude and oneness with the earth. Slowly come up with paintbrush hands, that is, your palms towards your body. And arms out and open up your heart. Open up your heart so you can feel love, so you can give love. With all the vulnerability you can, feeling safe to open up your heart. Hands up to the sky. Giving thanks to Father Sky for all the light, the sunshine, the love that we have for ourselves, each other, and this entire universe. Help us continue to see how much light in this world there really is, so we can see the world with lightness and spread that lightness. And slowly down, spreading that lightness throughout your whole body. And breathing. And breathing. One palm down, touching Mother Earth. The other palm up, touching Father Sky. Acting as a conduit for light and love from God through you to the world, adding your light, your strength, your oneness to the oneness of all. Now reverse, the other palm up, the other palm down, connecting the heavens and the earth, flowing through you the beautiful energy of the world. Feel it radiate through your body with love and with beauty. Bring those hands together to your heart and have a seat. So the greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneness. So in quiet reflection, we experience that deep mother of understanding. So the mind for the truth begins first like a stream, right? And it increases with age. We start to understand things better as we get older. First, it starts like a little stream. And then with each experience, with each pain, with each death of people that we experience, with everything that we experience, that stream grows. And it grows. And it turns into an ocean because of all of that experience. And if we pass through life never experiencing solitude, we really might not experience ourselves. And we don't experience ourselves, can we ever really know anyone or anything? So in silence, we listen to ourselves. We ask questions of ourselves. And in quiet, we might even hear the voice of God. So, Dad at 100 spends a lot of time sitting in his hammock, looking at his sheep, and watching the little coquis run up and down the wall. And it's wonderful that he is still sharp as a tack. So he has the ability to run through everything throughout his life in solitude and contemplate his life. Amends that he needs to make while he has time to make it. Thoughts that he needs to think through even more fully. And in this time, he might even hear the voice of God. It's an advantage that we can all take now. We don't really have to wait till we're 100. In the words of John Donahue, come home to yourself and learn to rest within. I invite you to stand up. And our last movement. Standing strong. And we're going to just run our hands up and down in a spherical motion in front of you, putting one hand in front of the other. And just regulating your energies, balancing them in this Qigong movement. Balancing the fears with love, loneliness with solitude, reality with dreams, healing. And remembering to breathe. Ooh, and we're going to come to the center. And we're going to harness all your love, your light, your positive energy into a ball. Harness it, hold it tight, look at it with love and fondness. And we're going to hold that ball. Hold it with the best intentions you have for the universe. And slowly raise your arms and give up that ball in light and love to the universe. Healing. Healing yourself. Healing the universe. Giving thanks to your ancestors. And feeling loved. Slowly bring that love and light back to yourself. And have a seat. So we're going to do a longer meditation than usual. This is Brian Weiss. And after the meditation, I'll ring some bells and open your eyes. Sit up straight, feet up firmly on the ground. And those of you who are meditators know what to do. For those that, if any of my Catholic family is listening, you know, prayer is like talking to God outside of you. And meditation is more like listening to your soul internally. So I usually have my hands on my lap, palms up, and I usually breathe with my tongue to the roof of my mouth. And take in some deep breaths. And we'll be listening to Brian Weiss. We think.
At first, focus on your breathing, your breath. Let it be nice and deep and even, relaxed yoga breathing. This is the way within. With each breath, let yourself go deeper and deeper and deeper into a relaxed, serene, tranquil state. This is so healthy for your mind and for your body to relax.
If we could turn off the background music.
To feel the peace. With each breath, deeper and deeper, relaxed, peaceful, and calm. As you do this, relax all of your muscles. Your facial muscles and jaw, the muscles of your neck and shoulders, completely relaxing. The muscles of your back, both upper back and lower back, and of your arms, and the muscles of your stomach, so that your breathing stays deep and even, relaxed and serene. And lastly, the muscles of your legs, completely relaxing your whole body now, going deeper and deeper, feeling lighter a serene and beautiful state. Your breathing stays nice and deep, relaxed and peaceful. All of your muscles relaxing. You can feel the calm. Let yourself go even deeper. Next, visualize or imagine a beautiful light coming in through the top of your head and beginning to spread down your body from above to below. A beautiful, powerful, healing light. You choose the color or colors. This light is connected with the light above and around, a divine light, a powerful light, a healing light because it heals every cell, every fiber, every tissue, every organ of your body, restoring all of these cells to the normal, healthy state, getting rid of illness, getting rid of disease, getting rid of discomfort, restoring to perfect health. This is a deepening light because it will bring you to a deep level of peace and relaxation. Allow yourself to go even deeper now, even deeper. And the light spreads down, it fills all of the cells, the tissues in your face and the back of your head. It flows gently into your neck, soothing and relaxing the muscles of the neck, the spinal cord. In your throat, it smooths the lining of your throat, and you go even deeper. And it flows into your shoulders and down your arms, healing and relaxing every muscle and nerve, every fiber and every cell of your body as it reaches your hands, and you go even deeper. And it flows into your heart, releasing the beautiful energy that is stored there, healing your heart, filling your lungs, which glow beautifully in the light, and you go even deeper. Now you're feeling so peaceful, so relaxed, deeper and deeper with each breath. And the light flows into your back, healing and relaxing the large muscles and nerves. And it flows into your stomach and abdomen, filling up all of the abdominal organs and healing them as well, and relaxing the nerves and the muscles of the abdomen. Flowing past your hips now and down both legs, this beautiful, healing, soothing, deepening light, reaching to your feet, filling your body now, and you feel so peaceful, so relaxed, so serene and calm. Let yourself go even deeper. You'll be able to focus on my voice, but let other noises, thoughts, or distractions only deepen your level even more as they fade away. Next, visualize or imagine the light completely surrounding the outside of your body as well, as if you were in a halo or a bubble of light. And this protects you. No harm can come through the light, only goodness. And it heals your skin and your outer muscles and deepens your level even more. In a few moments, I'm going to count backwards from 10 to 1. With each number, let yourself go even deeper. So deep that by the time I reach 1, your mind is no longer limited by the usual barriers of space or of time. So deep that you can experience all levels of your multidimensional self. So deep that you can remember everything, every experience you've ever had. You can remember everything. 10, 9, 8, going deeper and deeper with each number back. 7, 6, 5, deeper and deeper and deeper. 4, 3, very, very deep, so peaceful, so calm and relaxed. 2, nearly there. 1, good. In this beautiful, relaxed, serene state, imagine yourself, visualize yourself walking down a beautiful staircase. Down, down, deeper and deeper, down, down. Each step down, increasing the depth of your level even more. And as you reach the bottom of the stairs, in front of you is a beautiful garden. A garden filled with flowers, trees, grass, benches and places to rest, fountains. A beautiful place, safe, serene. And you go into this garden. Visualize yourself in the garden now, and here your body can completely rest and continue to heal itself, still filled with the wonderful light as you go deeper and deeper. Your body will refresh, renew, rejuvenate, recuperate, continuing to heal and fill with a beautiful energy, so that later on, after you're awake, you will feel wonderful, filled with a beautiful energy, refreshed, renewed, and yet in full control of your body and your mind. The deepest, deepest levels of your mind can open up, and you can remember everything. Imagine now that in this garden there is a wonderful building. It looks like a temple or a Greek building with pillars, marble steps leading up to great doors, and this is in front of you. You can feel it or visualize it or imagine it. It doesn't matter. This is all for your experience. You begin to ascend the steps, and at the top of the steps is a wonderful, wise, loving being, someone who may seem familiar to you in some way, filled with love, with wisdom. And you greet this being, and the great doors swing open, and you enter the building. Inside, marble benches, a few people walking around, very wise, very loving. More fountains, gardens. In this building, you can be healed. Imagine now that you and your friend go into a special room, and there is a marble bench there. And you lie down on this bench. Through the ceiling is streaming natural light, pouring into the room. Above you are crystals arranged in just such a way that they break this light into different colors. And you and your friend, your guide, can further arrange these crystals so that light of just the right color is coming to just that part of your body or your mind which needs help, which needs healing. For example, if your heart needs golden light, you can direct that light to your heart. If your knee needs green healing light, focus the crystals so that green light is directed at your knee. If your mind needs light, send a beam of light to your mind, to your brain, to wherever you need it. and you can use more than one color. This is a brilliant, healing, powerful light. And as you lie there, as you absorb the light, the healing is immediately transferred to your physical body as well. As you do this, you can feel the warmth, the tingling of the light. Let your body heal. You are very powerful. You can get rid of disease. You can heal yourself. As you do this, you are also able to communicate with your friend, this guide. And if you wish, you can ask a question and listen for the answer. The answer may be in words, images, visions, feelings. It does not matter. Ask the question. Ask the question and listen for the answers. Feel the light. It is so strong, so powerful, so healing. Listen for the answers. They may help you. Staying in a deep state, let your body absorb these rays of light. Let the illnesses, diseases disappear. Feel yourself getting lighter, stronger, as if a weight is lifted off your shoulders. If you wish, imagine that a large screen, like a movie screen, is on the wall of this room, and your guide can show you pictures that have to do with your symptoms, whether they are physical or psychological or any other sort. They may give you clues, hints, as to the origins of your illness, of your symptoms, of your disease, or of your pain. You can watch this screen, and whatever you see, that is fine. If you see origins in adolescence, in childhood, in infancy, or even before, that is fine. It will provide you understanding. As you watch, begin to let go of all negative thoughts and emotions. Let go of fear. You don't need this anymore. There is nothing to fear. You are immortal and eternal, and nothing can harm you. Let go of sadness and guilt and shame and despair. You don't need these either. Let go of anger and frustration. They only get in your way. Let go of worry and tension and anxiety. Instead, feel the positive emotions. These make up your true inner self, the core of your being. Feel peace and love and harmony and joy and bliss These are your true inner states. Peace, wisdom, love, joy. Let go of all fear. Instead, feel love, feel peace. As you do this, you will feel better and better, lighter, more hopeful, your life filled with more joy, with more satisfaction. Again, you will feel as if a weight is lifted off your shoulders as you fill with peace and joy, with love and wisdom, letting go of all fear, sadness, anxiety, and tension. Now the healing is being completed, and already you feel better. Inwardly so much calmer and more peaceful, more hopeful with more joy. Let go of your symptoms. You don't need these anymore. And soon it's time to come back into the garden. And you and your friend now rearrange the crystals once again so that it is only natural light flowing into the room, and you arise from the table. And you and your friend walk out of the room, past the fountains, and out the great doors. And here you say goodbye for a while. Whenever you need to contact, to reach, to heal again, just visualize this place. Fill yourself with light and be there once more. But for now, you part, walking down the steps and back to the garden. And in the garden, rest for a while, recuperating, rejuvenating, letting your body completely heal and refresh as it fills with a beautiful energy. And you feel so peaceful, so relaxed. And for a while now, rest in the garden, feeling so peaceful. No fear, no anxiety, no worries. There's no place to go, nothing to hurry you, nothing here to disturb you, just peace, relaxation, serenity. Linger here for a while, feeling the peace, going as deeply as you wish into this beautiful state. Let the healing complete. Let the relaxation continue with you as you stay in this deep, deep state for a while longer. Stay very deep, very peaceful. And now it's time to awaken. I'm going to awaken you by counting up from 1 to 10. With each number, you'll be more and more awake and alert, in full control of your body and your mind, feeling wonderful, feeling great, refreshed, relaxed, and yet filled with a beautiful energy. 1, 2, 3, gradually awakening, feeling wonderful. 4, 5, 6, more and more awake and alert, feeling great. 7, 8, nearly awake now. 9, 10.
I go outside at night and look up and the stars are bright, sometimes I lay on the ground and imagine that the sky is down. And if the earth should then let go, I'd fall into the stars below. I'd fall into the stars below. When I see the red sunset in its quiet splendor, I reflect that sun's not going down at all, but the earth is turning somersaults. And through his sunlit seed trails, we are on that great big whale. We're riding on that great big whale. I try to grasp the simple fact of this existence, think of all the fantasies, fairy tales and wishes. None strike me as more unlikely or magnificent than this is. Seen up close, galaxies through telescopes, crimson hillsides in the fall, and more astounding than them all are pondering minds with eyes that see. These are deep mysteries, deep mysteries. I try to grasp the simple fact of this existence, think of all the fantasies, fairy tales and wishes. None strike me as more unlikely or magnificent than this is. Like a strange enchanting play of impossible dimensions, the setting and the stage run light years in all directions, and the breathless scenes, the storyline defy comprehension. Think of all the roles in this production. All I know is I'm in the cast, but could it be I'm also in the front row seat to sit in my amazement, gazing to ooh and ah, to sigh and say, my, what a wonderful play. My
appreciate it and use solitude to look deep within, to find love for ourselves, love for everyone around us and the universe. Thank you. Thank you. We